This is a really wild one, guys. Take-Two sent private investigators to a YouTuber's house over some leaks. This is from Sharif Syed over at VG247. It reads, Borderlands publisher 2K Games has confirmed that it sent private investigators to the home of YouTuber's SupMatto as part of an investigation into Borderlands 3 leaks. Take-Two Interactive, the parent company of Borderlands 3 publisher 2K Games, has shed some light on its side of a story that caused the hashtag boycott Borderlands 3 to trend on Twitter. The hashtag was created in response to a YouTube video by Borderlands YouTuber and streamer SupMatto. The creator previously leaked a number of details about Borderlands 3, so much so it caused Take-Two to investigate him. In the video, SupMatto says he was approached by two private investigators who arrived at his home unannounced to ask about the Borderlands 3 leaks he'd been posting. The YouTuber explained that he didn't get the unannounced information in any malicious way, but Take-Two believes differently. And I am going to read, this entire article because it is filled with information that I think is pertinent, and it's filled with quotes from people that I think are important for us to hear. So it continues. One particular incident both parties referenced is the discovery of a Twitch extension, which is accidentally shown off ahead of time thanks to an unlisted video on the official YouTube channel. Said video also included screen names of testers. Quote, "This wasn't found by me. It was also posted on various platforms like Reddit and other social medias. That's how it was brought to my attention. So quite a few of us decided to follow these accounts because, well, simply put, we could," end quote, said SupMatto. I think I said SupMatto at one point. It's SupMatto or SupMatto. Apologies, guys. Phone's blowing up over here. Take-Two, however, says some of the information SupMatto shared with their audience was obtained through a Twitch exploit that allowed them to access private test streams, which they used as a source. Quote, "The information he's sharing about the situation is incomplete and in some cases untrue," end quote, said 2K. Quote, "Not only were many of his actions illegal, but they were negatively impacting the experiences of other content creators and our fans in anticipation for the game," end quote. "Many of these videos have now been deleted." Quote, "Take-Two and 2K take the security and confidentiality of trade secrets very seriously. The action we've taken is the result of a 10-month investigation and a history of this creator profiting from breaking our policies, leaking confidential information about our product, and infringing on our copyrights," end quote. It added, quote, "We will take the necessary actions to defend against leaks and infringement of our intellectual property that not only potentially impact our business and partners, but more importantly, may negatively impact the experiences of our fans and customers," end quote. Interestingly, Twitch and Discord were both also investigating SupMatto. Discord actually deleted the YouTuber's private server for, quote, "selling, promoting, or distributing cheats, hacks, or cracked accounts," end quote. According to IGN, SupMatto shared more leaks through the server for a $5 subscription to his channel. For now, SupMatto is taking a break from making videos, saying he doesn't know if he will be returning for Borderlands 3 release in September. Guys, that was a long read. It's a lot to parse through, and it's a lot of he said, she said kind of things. And so I just want to maybe take this a little bit by bit here. When I first read the story, I'm going to just kind of walk you through my thinking and kind of talk out loud through my thinking. When I first saw this, I was like, sending private investigators to a YouTuber's house to investigate some leaks, like, it seems like an overreaction, Take-Two. It seems like an overreaction. But I started thinking about it a little more, and I don't think it was a shakedown. In fact, in the Kotaku article, it talks about how SupMatto didn't even know, and I apologize if I'm saying that wrong, that he didn't even know that they were private investigators hired by Take-Two until they left his house and he found them on LinkedIn and made the connection that they were probably sent by Take-Two to ask him these kinds of questions. And so I don't think it was like an intimidation kind of thing. I think it was really just this guy seems to know a lot about what we're going to be announcing, and we want to figure out how. And if he has some sort of backdoor way in which he is able to obtain this information, we need to know about that. Probably more importantly and more likely is, does he have somebody that's on the inside that's feeding information to him that he is then giving to the public, and then there's a whole nother layer to it, right? With the Discord idea of if he is selling subscriptions where he is giving out more and more of this leaked information for profit for himself, that becomes a whole thing. Like, and we've talked about this a lot about when we talk about companies protecting their IP. Beal for real in the chat says this is wild. It really is wild, dude. It's insane. We talk a lot about companies taking action to protect their IP. And a lot of people look at those stories and they say, you know, when you see a company who's like suing a creator for using their artwork or their logos or whatever, and we look at those stories and we're like, money grubbing corporate animals, like, they fucking suck. Like, how dare they go after the little guy? But if I understand correctly, if you just allow your IP to kind of get trampled on by everybody and used for their own gain and their own profit, then there's an argument to be made against you that you no longer own that IP because so many other people have been utilizing it without action being taken. And so in an event like this, where like there's always kind of that out with YouTubers, right? It's a fine line that you walk, and with Twitch even, and we've seen this with like Nintendo, right? These publishers and creators have the right to go after any channel that is using their game to make YouTube videos or stream on Twitch. I do not own the right to League of Legends when I stream League of Legends. I don't own the rights to Overwatch when I'm streaming Overwatch, but it's a give and take. Overwatch, Blizzard understands that they gain so much from allowing people to stream their stuff. And, you know, Riot Games gets so much coverage and free coverage by allowing people to stream their games. And Nintendo is starting to learn that as well. But when you take that relationship and begin to exploit it in the ways that are alleged in this article, where he seems to be getting information in some nefarious ways. He is gating some of this this information that he's possibly gained in nefarious ways behind a subscription. Like, at that point, you have to ask yourself, is the relationship that we have with this YouTuber beneficial to us as a company, or is it not? Are we giving more than we're taking? And so I'm saying this in summary. I understand Take-Two's approach with this. If they've really taken 10 months to look into this and they do feel like there's something more to his leaks than just, oh, he found like some unlisted YouTube videos, and they think he possibly has somebody on the inside, or they think that he is possibly hacking into getting into information in some sort of backdoor way, then I get that. What I struggle with, and I'm sorry, I think I'm dropping some frames here. What I struggle with is this idea of like, gaming has such corporate secrecy within it, and leaking down into, and I'm going to be very careful how I say this, leaking down into the ways that their relationships with the media exists. In a lot of ways, I think the media can function as just another arm of their PR. They're kind of like hype wagon, building the hype for games. Like, a publisher releases information slowly, and then the media outlets pick those things up and they build the hype over time with it. And so I struggle with this idea of like, if somebody is leaking information that we would have known about anyway, like, we're going to go after them because they're really impacting the way that our fans are experiencing our rollout model that we had put into place. Like, I struggle with that side of things because I'm like, let's not take ourselves too seriously. But then on the other side, I realize how much money is wrapped up in these things, and that while, yes, it is just a video game to some, it is big business to others, and you have a plan. I work in marketing. I understand you have a plan put in place. This is the rollout of that plan. We don't want to deviate from that plan. But yeah, to say that this is like, I think the thing I take issue with this story in particular with Take-Two's approach is just to say that they're doing it because they really care about the way the fans are experiencing this news. because it's bullshit. What they really care about is that they are not in control of their message, and that's okay to be not okay with. That's okay to take issue with that, but to play it off as if you're like, man, we really want to make sure our fans are getting the experience that we mapped out for them, like, and putting it on like we care about the fans is just disingenuous to me. But it's a crazy story. It's a crazy story. Like, but you hear the word private investigator, and I think for all of us, we like think about guys in trench coats with their collars popped up in the hat, and they're like smoking a cigarette and putting the screws to a guy. When in reality, these guys just came by and asked them questions and were, what I read from the Kotaku article especially, fairly unassuming. But at the end of the day, if what SupMatto has been accused of is true, Take-Two has every right to go after them in these ways. So it's a crazy story. I'm not sure where I fall on all of it, except to say that Take-Two has a responsibility to maintain their intellectual property and a responsibility. Yeah, LA Noire looking dudes. That's right. That's right. Take-Two has a responsibility to protect its IP, and they also have a responsibility to protect their marketing plan and their rollout plan. And how they've chosen to do that, I think, we can debate and talk about that. But the fact that Twitch and Discord were both investigating, and that Discord arrived at a conclusion to where they closed down his server, I don't imagine those two investigations were working in tandem with one another. Maybe they were. But if they both arrived at these conclusions independently, I think that the case against this YouTuber is even stronger. So, yeah, weird story, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments of this video, because like I said, I'm still kind of like sussing through everything. But I think that's where I stand now.